What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Into My GT Entertainment, and I am Joel. Nice to see you here on this lovely sunny day, at least for now anyway, because here in Virginia it rains all the time now. So it's like Florida, it rains every afternoon. So anyway, what we are going to discuss today is a couple different things. You know, tuning is now out for the S650, so we'll kind of touch on that for a few. We'll talk about Wasp here for a little while. Sorry, got my cars all confused, don't I? Nightwing, and then Wasp is covered up. Like I said, the weather's been kind of iffy and nobody has really gotten to do anything, so I just leave it covered up in there. We got Stormy here. We got Minion that's been doing a lot of work to it here lately, so he's been kind of doing his own thing, so he'll have a couple videos dropping off. Would I do some of the stuff he's doing? No, but the maintenance part, yes. So y'all go watch his video, Minion 50, Brandon Miranda. Y'all see what I'm talking about. And then got some yard work done. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and get this video started. I have some errands to run this morning. I might throw you on the glasses, hit you in Nightwing here. I got to go CVS, drop off some stuff, and we'll have a conversation. See you in a few. Before we start the video, somebody commented me the other day saying, how many brew-through shirts do you have? Well, let me show you, because I told them that I probably have enough that I can wear one different every day for the next 2 to 3 weeks. No cap. Watch. All these right here, all the way to here, are all my brew-through shirts. And there's like 4 of them that are being cleaned, and I got one on. So I got a bunch of brew-through shirts. I just like the shirts. And then I got my Ron John side, which is everything to here. Oh, that's my Ron John. This little section right here, missing a couple, but these would be my 17 Street shirts. And then all this from here over to over here are all my automotive shirts, Derek shirts, Whipple shirts, Clutch J&L, all my Explorer shirts, all my other shirts are there. So yeah, just a filler. You know, I do have a lot of brew-through shirts. I do like them. I also got a couple hoodies. I got this one and a mint green one that's in the back of Pam's Jeep, and I believe one more somewhere laying around. But yeah, again, a lot of that. All right, everyone. So with Wasp being under the cover right now, like I said, the weather here in Virginia has been kind of hit and miss. Every day it wants to rain, not rain, or it rains here, not there. So depending where you are, you might be getting trounced and soaked and everything else, and then you're like 10 minutes up the road and there's nothing. Every day they call for storms in our area, so, and there's some for this afternoon too. But you know, there's always that chance where it's over here, over there. We don't know what's happening. But anyway, with Wasp, I got some things that I want to do with Wasp, little minor things. With the Whipple that I've got installed, I put the strut tower brace on, and what I had to take off the car when I installed the Whipple was the, you'll see right here on the floor, is the J&L oil separator. Now, it's because of where you have to mount the new one, I can't put that in that spot. So I've talked to Vinny down in J&L down here in Chesapeake, and they're sending me a satellite area rebuild kit for it. But the problem with that is where they put that is where the strut tower brace is. So we're going to have to kind of work it out a little bit, maybe bend the frame out from under so the J&L will work in that area. But I still needed the hoses to go on the relocation side of that. So that is one thing that is coming. So we're going to go ahead and get that put in, and then I don't know if I'll give you the whole install with that because it's a couple hoses or whatever. But if it's something that looks like it may be a lot of time consuming stuff to do, then I'll go ahead and show it. But if it's something that's going to take me 3 minutes to do, I ain't going to worry about that too much. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is the rear delete kit, seat delete kit for the Mustang. Why? Because I don't use the back seats for anything, and I kind of like the way that Derek's was in his at the time. So I hit up that same company, I think it's EMP or EPM, EMP I think is what it is, and I sent them some stuff that I wanted to do in the back of mine. I'm going to do a little bit of a difference though. I'm going to do the stuff on the back where the seat delete is, with whatever logos or whatever I end up doing there. The bottom part's going to be carpeted, so it's not going to be the hard plastic. It'll be hard plastic in the carpet, you know what I'm saying? So that way it gives it more of a finished look, and if I put something there, it has less of a chance of sliding all over the place. So because like I said, there's not a lot of room. I'm short, I'm 5'5", and my seat is like this far from the back of the other seat. So, you know, they do it for the insurance purposes, I think, because there's no way you're putting a normal size human back there. Even a fat boy like me, he ain't going back there for being short. So that is something else I'm looking at for doing this. Now, again, there's a lot of things that play key into what I do and don't do here lately. Hold that thought. All right, so with that being said, I'm still unemployed, but I got some prospects. I had an interview last week, I'm waiting to hear on, and I got an interview this week. So things are starting to kind of go around that corner, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think we're in that lull where you apply and apply and apply, and then, you know, it takes people a while to get in there, but now things are starting to hit me back. Now, I applied for quite a few jobs, and I got like 2 or 3 interviews out of them so far. So, but you know, if your boy could get lucky, maybe I'll find something out of those 2 that are a good fit, and then, you know, we'll start working again and doing that. It has no effect on Mustang Week, because everywhere I apply at, I'll let them know that that first week of September I'm going to be not here, so that's going to be taken care of. So other than those things with the Mustang, I really don't have any plans for. I'm happy with the way the car runs at the moment with the tune that it has from Whipple. Like I said, it's 815 horsepower. I don't see any issues with it, and it runs good, and it's safe, and it starts the way it's to. So I'm not going to venture into retuning my car anytime soon. I do have an RTD tuner from HP, but I think you have to move up to their M2, V2s, V3s, or some other one to actually tune the car. So that means the one that I have won't work on that one. So then I would have to get a new tuner, someone to tune it, plus get the credits for it. So you're looking at, you know, another $800-900, maybe $1,000 to get it tuned. I do want to venture into E85 with the car. I don't know what needs to be done with the S650 to get it to that point. The years prior to this one, I think the 23s, 22s, all you had to do is get the tune. You didn't have to change the fuel system. So I don't know if it's still the same. So we'll kind of venture into that when time comes for it. Like I said, I do want to run E. Maybe we'll try to get to that 1,000 horsepower. Like I said, we're not too far off, you know, so with the right tuning, and you know, right now I'm sure Whipple does the safe one with Ford, so you know, being on a safe tune at 800 some horsepower, it's not too shabby. And once you get to a certain amount, it gets so unusable. Like what I have now is unusable. It's nice to say, hey, I got X amount of numbers, but being roadworthy, I guess, is starting to get out of the phase, and that's not what I want to do with Wasp. I want to drive it more. So you know, I don't want to have it so that I have to have freaking the slicks or radials on it everywhere I go, because the power is outrageous. The good thing is it's a manual, so you have kind of a control of what's going on with that car. Like I said, with the auto, you know, the auto is kind of, if you put your foot in it, you're kind of along for the ride, and you don't have any way of determining what's going to happen or not going to happen. You do have the paddle shifters, but an automatic will tend to get away from you probably a lot quicker than a manual will, because with the manual you just dump the clutch in, you know, or the clutch pedal in the car just be disengaged, or you know, if you start to feel the slide a little bit, you know, you can alter it by foot reaction, you know. So it's just kind of where we are with that. Like I said, I love Wasp. Wasp is turned into my not my favorite car, because I still like Nightwing. Nightwing is just a good all-around vehicle for me. It's the right horsepower. Hold that thought, I'm getting too many conversations here. Okay, with Nightwing, that is kind of the perfect round vehicle for me right now. I'm 52 years old, so driving the Mustang all the time is kind of a, I wouldn't say it's a hassle quite yet, but you know, it's not as comfortable as being a Nightwing. Nightwing is a 4-door SUV, 511 horsepower. It's peppy, it looks good, and I have room to carry whatever I need to carry in it without having to do it. So I could carry 4 or 5, well, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say 7 comfortably, 8 if you stuff a small child in the back. So I got that room. It looks decent. It is a little dirty right now. I haven't had time to clean it, and that's another thing that I'm trying to rearrange here a little bit, because usually when I clean a car, it comes into the garage. I got Pam's car in here. You can see it doesn't look too bad right now. Mine is clean, and that's why it's under the cover, because when we've had those rainstorms, everybody opens this door and it rains inside the garage, because it's all, everything rains sideways. So that's why the cover is on the car. But I do still have the tool shed in the back. So with the tool shed being empty, I was thinking about rearranging some vehicles that I don't run all the time and throw one up in the tool shed. Well, lo and behold, Pam has been kind of slowly using the tool shed when she's in her spa. She'll put the covers in there and do whatnot. So now it becomes a fight of what I can put in and what I'm not going to put in. I was thinking about throwing Wasp back there, because you know, I haven't driven Wasp in a week and a half, so when something comes up I take her out and do it. But that's taking up a spot in the garage where I can go ahead and clean up Nightwing and then have him in and out as need be, and I'll still have that spot, and then Wasp can still be in the garage clean till I need it. So we'll figure all that part out. Like I said, it's just the way that things are running now. I had the room to do whatever I want to, but I don't want to kick her cars out. I want to give her access, especially if she's driving Stormy or the Jeep or whatever, and it's raining and she just needs to pull in, get out the weather. So I don't want to be that guy, right? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and figure today out. I know I've already talked a lot, and you know, I really don't have anything planned. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get into Nightwing, maybe set you up there, maybe do some driving with her, and like I said, I got some subscriptions to take in, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you once I get everything set up in the truck. And Minion's got kind of a nice little look to her now. He's been trying some new stuff, and he needs to really clean it up. He's done the carbon fiber mirror caps, he's done some interior mods and getting it prepped for being whippled. So he's got the one-piece drive shaft in it now. He's got the stage 2 clutch because his other one went out, so he's got the RTX in there. So hopefully he don't RP his trans. So like I said, he's getting around to it. Like I said, there's a lot of fitment issues with this car. The front bumper, he either needs to put in the little push pins to get that corrected, or he might need to just redo the whole bumper at one point. I don't know what his plans are for that part of it too much. Like I said, the car itself is nice, it runs good. He's been taking care of some of the stuff that needed to be taken care of. He's just put new brakes on there, front and rear. So he's getting around to getting the car straight, and hopefully by Mustang week, I think his lead time on the Whipple has moved up, so it should be like the first part of August. So if that's the case, then this car should be going down Whippled to Mustang week. Hopefully it gives enough time. Like I said, I don't know what my job situation is going to be, and he's going to ask me for help. I'm sure Derek will lend him a hand at some point, but you know, he has to do most of this work. The garage will be open to him. I still got Jay's quick jacks in the back, so he'll have that access to do whatever he needs to do. He just needs to be out of bed and getting his crap straight, because I can't do the work like I used to. I'll help out, I'll get them started, I'll do whatever I need to do to help them, but when I do stuff on the cars that are real strenuous on me, I feel it for days. I don't know if it's old age, my heart condition, just being me, I don't know. Just whatever the case is, I'm going to be there to lend him a hand. I'll guide him through what he needs to, you know, and then we'll go from there. And hopefully that his boys will come in and help him and get it straight, and he'll have this up in a couple days, and then he'll be doing his thing. Hopefully he gets it dynoed so he sees where it is. He should get it dynoed now, just to verify where he is and where he's going to end up. I already got him another pulley. I think his cars come with the 7/8 pulley. I got the 3/8 pulley, and then I got the 3/7 pulley up in there, so he won't have to really do a belt change. He just has to go ahead and get that pulley on there, and he'll have a little more boost just from the get-go. Do is go ahead and take Nightwing out. We're gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll see where we end up. And like I said, I got some prescriptions to go drop off, and then we'll go from there. And just to give you a little insight of what I look at every day when I drive this, like I said, I'm kind of in love with her. You know, I got things where I like it to be, and like I said, the car is kind of peppy, and I have a lot of fun with her. So with these glasses, well, let me go into that subject too while I drive away. With these glasses, I got the what is it, the photo, whatever, the trans, well, they change. They don't really do that well in the car, and even being outside out there, they don't get dark. So what I might do with these, just to experiment a little bit, is get different lenses for it. Maybe go with a polarized lens that is darker, but I'm gonna keep these with the pouch of the glasses, so that way I can go ahead and have these pop out fairly easy, the lenses themselves. So if I have the polarized, so I can do my daily outside stuff, and then the days that I'm either inside using these, or you know, it's a cloudy day and I don't need them all the way dark or what have you, you know, kind of do it in that aspect. So I think I might go that route too. I think the lenses themselves are somewhere in the $80 range, so you know, I'll get the polarized ones that I'm used to having, do that, and then go from there. Oakley just launched theirs. I think they have a pre-order one, but it's with the gold lenses, the 4K lenses. They call them 4K, it's not 4K lenses, but it's the gold lenses with the white frame. I think that was the pre-launch one, and then later on you could get the other ones. I don't like the style of those Oakleys. You gotta have the right face, and these I'm not really a fan of either because of the thick frame on it. I think if they would have gotten a narrower frame, or maybe went frameless at the bottom, they might have looked better. I get why it is what it is with these, but like I said, I don't know if I would personally do that. So, and then of course, I don't know if these cut off quick. I think I might have gone over my 3-minute yapping time, but you can see they're still jacking up everything around here. It's nuts. This used to be the way to Wawa that way, and like I said, it's definitely been a trying thing getting in and out of the neighborhood. And the bad thing is, on the backside, we have 2 entrances coming into my neighborhood. It's kind of getting you on both ends, because I think they're doing a roundabout on that backside. So yeah, we're kind of screwed either which way. With the video I did prior to this, the people that actually watched it, did it turn out okay with the way I panned it out? Because like I said, the glasses do everything vertical, so I'm looking to square it out horizontal. Now everybody says, oh yeah, you could turn the glasses sideways, but who wants to do that crazy shit? So let me know if this turns out pretty good. Alright guys, I am putting these down for a second. Like I said, with those particular glasses, it's kind of a unique feel and a different look to it, right? You get to see everything going on here and there, and then you can kind of just talk without having to worry about where you are, and if you don't want your face shown, right? So like I said, I do enjoy them. Like I said, I'm learning them, so hopefully we can get to that point where everything is copacetic and I can roll with it. So anyway, we're headed up to the CVS. I'm gonna try to drop these off at the window. I hope I can do it, because I hate going in the freaking CVS if I don't have to. But if we don't, then we'll maybe throw the glasses back on and go ahead and walk in there and take a tour of CVS. All right, everybody. So that was not a problem. We dropped it off at the window. Like I said, the glasses are pretty cool. I do like them, and they have their cool factor. Like I said, I don't know what is happening in front of me right now, but anyway, he must have broke down or something. But anyway, we'll go for a little drive in this. I'm sorry, lost train of thought. Yeah, the glasses themselves, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, you get that whole forward view that you need to have, and you can kind of see what's going on. I guess you know, if you have in the market and you do social media and you like to do the POV stuff, it works out pretty good. Hopefully they'll do some type of software stuff with this where you could do the horizontal versus the vertical. But you never know, right? So I got something else to talk about, so let me get off of these and get into the GoPro. Alright guys, so something else that me and Pam were talking about, and I'm not going to get into a lot of details. It was just kind of talking over the whim, and if I get one of these jobs. So if I get one of these jobs, there may be another vehicle coming, but it's not going to be something that I usually look at or get. It's not going to be another Mustang. It's not going to be anything special. It's something I may even lease, depending on the stuff. But like I said, that'll be a whole different type of thing. And like I said, I'm going to lease it probably if we do it at all. It all depends on the situation. Again, everything is kind of hypothetical and everything's kind of up in the air at the moment. Like I said, I need to get the jobs. I need to figure out the lifestyle that I'm going to have after I get these jobs. Are they paying the same? Are they paying less? Or they go pay more, right? So it's just kind of, I have to see where we fall into that place. With me not having a job right now, and actually for the last little bit, it's starting to take a toll on my emergency funds, I guess you would say. So, you know, I'm kind of getting drawn back a little bit. I'm using some stuff that I don't want to use right now. So we'll have to see where we end up and play with that. But again, it's hypothetical. Like I said, I don't know what we may do, what we may not do. That'll alter the garage situation also too. So like I said, it's just one of those things that I have to see how things are going to play out and go from there. So like I said, I'm kind of intrigued with it. It's not a necessary thing. Is it worth going in debt for? No. But like I said, it's just something different, something I've never had, never thought I would have, type deal. Like I said, it's something that I kind of veer away from, but it makes sense in this aspect. So we'll see where we end up with that. I just don't want to say anything because it's not something that is remotely even 75% squared away. You know, it's just something that we've talked about and just kind of going from there. So now we are just making a big loop, going back to the house. Like I said, switching back and forth from the camera and this, and just to see what y'all think. Gives me some editing stuff. But again, I'm driving this in normal mode. I'm not driving it in sport. It's definitely really peppy in sport. So, like I said, for my normal everyday driving, I don't need it in sport. I kind of get used to this. And what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and drop it in the sport real fast. Yeah, I find it clear. But now it rev matches, it shifts a little harder, it stays in gear a lot longer. So you see here, it just wants to go. Right now it dropped down to 4th gear, it'll stay there, and then it'll slowly roll itself back up. So it does pretty good, man. I like I said, I love this truck, I really do. It's roomy, it's nice to go on trips, at least for me. I don't mind taking it on trips. Pam says that her back hurts with it, but I don't have any issues with that, at least not right now. I got massage seats, so whatever, right? So we are headed again back to the house. Like I said, just doing a quick little drive. Let me see. As you can see, she'll take off. So not a problem with this thing. I love this truck. And like I said, it is not the fastest thing in the world, but you know, it's definitely amusement to me. So this truck won't go anywhere if I don't have to. So what do y'all think about the view? Does it work? Like I said, today's video is just something to put out. I was going to do something yesterday, but I got tied up with some stuff. And like I said, I like to drop on Sundays. Seems like everybody reacts a little better on a Sunday than they do through the week. And I don't have the bigger people to deal with because a lot of people don't drop on Sundays. So, you know, my toilet viewing or whatever and yada, yada, yada. Oh, somebody done messed up. Oh yeah, look at that. That's the thing about these glasses. You can kind of look at some crazy when you're driving down the road, right? And you need something really fast, you slap it, and then you're good to go. Like I said, I do see the purpose for these glasses. I could see these being in a good thing. Like I said, I wish the lenses would do more. They're not really doing anything. They say because of the UV protection in your car that the actual lenses won't go into the transparent or translucent or whatever. I'm missing that word up, but you know, where it fades down to a color so it blocks the UV light. They said your car won't let it do it as much. So yeah, we're about getting home, so we'll catch you there. All right guys, that will be this video. It's short, it's sweet. Just had to talk about some stuff. Like I said, as you can see, the glasses, they have slowly darkened a little bit, but like I said, they don't do you anything in the car because of the factory UV protection in your windows, or the tint won't let them turn dark or not. So this is what they look like. Like I said, I love that truck, man. It's one of my best purchases. I just, that's all I can say. We might do some stuff with Pam's car. We haven't done nothing with that in a while, so maybe we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to figure out my car situation. Like I said, I want to drive this more, but like I said, it's just for daily. It's good for daily. I'm not gonna bullshit the bullshitters. The car is perfect for daily driving. It has no problems. It does everything it needs to do. It's not hard on it. It's shitty on gas, but you didn't buy a Mustang. It was shitty before I put the supercharger on it. I think it's better because of the supercharger now. Whatever, right? So like I said, that does what it needs to do. But that'll be this video for today. Like I said, it's more just talking and having a discussion about these glasses again, and the SUV, and you know, my situation with work, and you know, what I want to do with these cars, and what I have planned still for Wasp to come out. I'm still waiting to get an email on that, so we'll see where we are with that. It's the same people that did Derek's, so just waiting to see what comes about with that. So we'll catch y'all on the next video.